You can't change the past. When we reflect on our past, our mistakes and missed opportunities tend to stick out. What could have happened if I pursued a relationship with that girl? What if I had decided to befriend that successful person in school? What if I had become fluent in a foreign language? These are our regrets, and left unchecked, they will consume our lives. Regrets give us a desire to reach back into the past to change our actions. But if we are to move forward with our lives, we must accept that this isn't possible. The past cannot be changed, and accepting this is how we can overcome our regrets. Except, this isn't necessarily true. Though the past cannot literally be changed, its significance and meaning can be changed. Think about your favorite shows or movies that have bad or even horrific endings. Throughout their run, they hook you with compelling characters and an engaging plot. But once we encounter the bad ending, it invalidates all of the good that came before it. Bad endings affect not only our enjoyment of the ending itself, but also how we think of our enjoyment of the show as a whole. Those stories are told in a static and linear way. Each event interacts with every other event in a dynamic way. The same is true for the stories that we tell about our own lives. I spent most of my childhood playing video games. During this time, I jokingly criticized others' choices in games, such as rhythm games, while lauding the virtues of the games that I played. At the time, I was happy spending my time in this way. As I started working, however, I started seeing all that time playing video games as a way to hide from my fears of inadequacy. What right did I have to criticize others for playing rhythm games when I was also wasting my own time? All of the joy of playing games was replaced by fear and regret. My regrets changed my past, not in what happened, but in how I felt about them in the present. Of course, the present or the ending doesn't just make that part worse. It also has the ability to elevate the things that happened in the past. To this day, people still pick through great books like Harry Potter to give significance to innocuous events. Oh, so that's why Snape said that. Was this what Dumbledore was referring to? The diary in Hogwarts was a lot more meaningful than I thought. Endings and events that happen in the future or present have the ability to change the way we view the past. This interplay of events is what makes great stories so memorable. Of course, the same is true for the greatest story of all, the story we tell about our own lives. Regrets can be washed away by our actions in the present. I decided that my criticism about rhythm games was just misdirected fear from not knowing how to play a musical instrument. But now, I've slain that demon by actually learning how to play the guitar. My past is no longer the past of a coward, but the past of a demon-slaying king. Now, you might say that that probably wasn't true at the time. To that I say, it doesn't really matter, because it's what it means now. Great writing isn't knowing what every piece does in the future. Great writing is knowing how to give meaning to things that happened in the past using events in the present. Giving meaning to the events that happened in our past and changing how they affect our current life is a central theme of my all-time favorite book, 5 People You Meet in Heaven. This book follows the journey of Eddie, an old maintenance man at a pier, as he finds meaning in his life after his death. During his life, Eddie is plagued by regret and fear. He thinks that he wasted his life, paralyzed by a specter, causing him to just stay as a mechanic at an amusement park. Later on, we would find out that the specter was repressed guilt. He had been responsible for the death of one of my small female countrymen during his deployment as a soldier during World War II. As he meets people from his life in heaven, his view gradually starts to change, however. He starts to see his time as a maintenance man at the amusement park as a way to atone for his sin. He was keeping children safe by making sure that the rides functioned correctly. And as his ultimate act, he traded his life for the life of a little girl. Within the span of 5 encounters, his past is completely transformed. Before his death, regret hovered over all the decisions in his life, his entire life a waste. By the end of the book, he thinks that his life was a humble but incredibly important one. He was able to bring joy to children and impact the lives of his coworkers. With all of the mistakes and missed opportunities in my life, I take comfort in knowing that they can still be changed. Not necessarily in how they played out, but in what their place is in the story of my life. So long as I live, I can still change the past.